do you think? What happened to little Caylee Anthony? That's one of the questions that we're talking about today. Let's see what some of our viewers had to say. I'm over here with Allie Pataki. Allie, what does Clay say?
Clay from Montgomery, Alabama, saying the police and investigators missed a crucial window of time because Casey succeeded in sending them after a whole bunch of lies, so now the poor grandparents will never know, more importantly than us. Jen from Spring Green, Wisconsin, saying she doesn't understand how Casey has remained so unemotional, that the most tragic thing is that the little girl will never be laid to rest, not the case. And then George from Washington saying the only way we will find out the truth is if Casey is facing the death penalty, she may crack and confess what actually happened to save her life.
All right, let's go over here to Molly Lyons and see what she's seeing from our viewers as well. You know, we've been talking about this case for such a long time, and for a while it sort of dropped into the background a bit because there were no new developments. But today, the family's spokesman came out and alluded to the fact that they believed that little Caylee was dead. And we just heard from Jose Baez, the attorney, who says, no, we don't believe that. Casey and I, the attorney, both believe that they will find Caylee eventually. And what are folks telling you, Molly?
We have Susan saying, we will sadly only know what the Anthonys want us to know through a Lifetime movie where they can cash in for millions. Casey loves this attention and looks forward to her next close-up. Tammy says we may never know. I think once her parents put pressure on her, she somehow got rid of the evidence using that very shovel she borrowed from the neighbor. And Melissa says this poor little girl is probably lying somewhere dead. The least she can do is fess up to where her daughter Caylee's body is so that the little girl may be properly laid to rest. What a sad society we have become when you will harm your own children for selfish reasons.
A lot of people believe that that might have been what happened. So we'll continue to cover this story very closely, and we'll bring you all the latest developments in Casey Anthony's trial when that happens. Greg, over to you.
All right, Martha, I want to talk a bit more about this case. The young mother indicted on first-degree murder charges in the death of beautiful little 3-year-old Caylee. Earlier, Casey's attorney did respond to the statement from the spokesperson saying Caylee is dead. He said he told reporters that they still believe Caylee is alive. He blamed the reporters for the whole thing, despite the fact that the child's body has never been found. And that's the important part. Prosecutors are hoping, therefore, that forensic evidence will be enough for a conviction, including traces of chloroform that was found in Casey's car, DNA tests, hair samples also taken from the car, and apparently air samples from Casey's trunk that detect a decomposing body. Let's bring in our legal panel right now. Defense attorney Arthur Adala and former prosecutor Kimberly Guilfoyle. Good to see you. Let me start with you, since you were the prosecutor. You don't have to have a dead body to prove your case to win it.
No, you don't. Many people think you cannot proceed forward on a successful prosecution without a body. In this case, what we're hearing, what we're learning from the evidence is they do have compelling forensic evidence that points to the fact that this little girl is no longer with us. The evidence that we know about is fair evidence from the car suggesting that one is, in fact, Caylee, and two, that she is deceased. You put that together with the information of the mother downloading info on chloroform. You have the cadaver dog sitting in the backyard and in the car, all suggesting decomposition. You have the beginning of a very strong case.
And, you know, defense attorney Arthur Adala, I mean, how do you defend this case if there's pretty strong physical DNA evidence that she's dead and the mother is proven to be a prolific liar?
Okay. I'm jumping out of my skin here. I'm jumping out of my skin because, look, Greg, in terms of murder cases, and look, if this mother killed her daughter, then obviously everybody wants to see justice done. But as a criminal defense attorney, whose job it is to protect someone's rights and to make sure that a case is proven beyond all reasonable doubt. This is a great case to try. Fantastic.
Tell me why.
You got no body, you got no motive, you have no cause of death.
Don't have to have it.
But you don't have to have it. But Kimberly, as great as a trial attorney she is, when you ask her, would she love to have a body? Would she love to have a cause of death?
But you don't
would
have
she
to
love
have
to have a
those
motive?
three things. You
Correct.
do not have to have.
I was a prosecutor as well, and it's very hard.
That's a luxury as a prosecutor.
I don't think it's a luxury to have a dead body.
They don't want to have them convicted, right? So they're not going to make it easy for the prosecution.
In all due respect, Kimberly, isn't there usually a body in a murder case? Usually.
I've been plenty of cases.
Usually there's a body.
But you don't have to have it.
Usually there's a cause of death.
Circumstantial evidence you can actually put a case for.
Here's
and
the bottom line.
In this
You
case.
ready? You want to know? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we don't know who died. We don't know how that person died. We don't know who did what to whom to cause a death. There is reasonable doubt all over this case, and under our system of justice, you have to walk around in the courtroom. Whether we like it it or not.
Arthur, return an indictment
We're
here,
talking about today.
literally almost in a matter of minutes. You wait and see that
Ham
she's going to
sandwich.
try and
You
go
know the
and
ham
get
sandwich.
a plea
Even
disposition to a
if-
manslaughter case. That's what she's going to try and do if she's
If
smart.
you try to poke holes in things like no body, no motive, etc.,
Those aren't little holes, though, Greg. Those are big holes.
Just got the worst
Who did
mother
what?
in the world.
Fine. Indict her for being the worst mother
No
in the world.
question about it.
Correct.
Nothing but
Should
lies
she be?
in
Nobody's
this case,
gonna
though,
like
Arthur.
her.
Not
Thank
one bit of information
God.
that she has given has proven to be truthful. This is a
Okay.
woman who I do think had a
But
motive
God
in terms of the fact that she
bless
didn't want her little girl around
America.
anymore because she was out
God
shopping at
bless
Fusion.
America. Greg, we don't send people to the death penalty for being a
Yeah,
bad mother.
right.
It's proof.
She's
It's
not
based
gonna
on
get the death
evidence.
penalty.
Isn't it
Evidence.
possible that this is only a question of murder versus manslaughter, and she may cop a plea? You do that
Yes,
deal
of
with
Her
course.
own
Well,
father
I don't
testified
know.
against her in the grand jury. You're aware of
You
that,
don't
right?
know what he said in the grand jury. I hope not, because it's secret. So you don't know what he said.
After the
He may have.
grand jury,
He may have just
witnesses
concerned.
are able to speak and give
But
statements.
I don't think he made a
Even by
statement
his
that
own
he testified
attorney's
against
admission,
her.
He said that he made
Would
statements
you take the plea deal,
against her.
manslaughter, as a prosecutor, or would you go for the
I,
death penalty,
wouldn't,
murder?
I wouldn't take the manslaughter, but I wouldn't necessarily bring a special circumstance because I don't think a jury's going to want to convict her with that lingering doubt if there's no body.
Life in
They're going to need more.
I
They're going to
just-
need more evidence before they get that kind of a plea. Right?
Kimberly Guilfoyle and Arthur Idella. Boy,
We're still friends.
We love each other.
that was interesting. All right, Martha.
They're always shy, those two. We always have to get them going, you know? All right, thanks, you guys.